Hello, DLS and Chaz. As a semi-retiree, I plan for and am lucky enough to spend 3 winter months a year on the North Shore of Oahu. As you can imagine, I see a lot of pros driving around in stores at the ATM and especially in the pipeline area when I'm just watching from the public bench in between the Volcom houses. My afternoon surf sessions usually begin at Haleiwa 7-Eleven for my $1.87 medium cup of coffee. I was sitting in my van a few years ago watching people come and go, and a truck backed in next to me. The COVID masked driver's profile caught my attention. He had one of those strong jawed faces that are pretty rare, especially for older guys. I knew who it was immediately, even through the mask. Or I knew who it was immediately, even through the mask, and I waited for him to return to his truck. I put my window down and I said, "Hey, Ken, looking good. I enjoyed years of watching your videos." He gets out of his truck, walks over, and shakes my hand and says, "Thanks, man. That's really random." Ken Bradshaw said that his surfing has been sidelined due to injuries, but he still gets in the water with a lot of his kids. He went on to show me videos of him and his family in Indonesia, and he talked about how they're getting really good at surfing. The amazing thing about the whole story is that he's 71. His wife is 35, and their kids are 10 and 5. I ran into him a year later in the same scenario and saw more videos. He seemed very polite and seemed to appreciate being recognized. FYI, don't approach young pros, but I knew an older one would appreciate and respond. T from NJ, work.
Thank you, T from NJ. And yeah, like I feel that is true about the older surfer can look back on the rear view and say, "Yeah, it was ridiculous that I ever got to do this to begin with." And so the least I can do is be gracious to anyone and actually feel graciousness in it. Like actually thank you for actually caring. And here's some video from me and my young wife and baby children.
I mean, the Ken Bradshaw owned the planet for a short period of time. I mean, maybe a decade, actually, maybe not that short, but I mean, he was King Kong, you
I mean,
know?
all the strapped years and all that, like I mean, he was out there doing it.
It was insane. And there was like I want to say he rode the biggest wave in the world, but like maybe Guinness wasn't tracking it or there wasn't the XXL awards. But I remember specifically when I was a teenager, there was like a 58-foot wave or something like that at Jaws, and it was a tow wave. Or maybe it was because it was a tow wave that nobody was quite acknowledging it. But it was the biggest wave on the planet, and he was
Yeah.
on like 60 Minutes and stuff like that. And he was just the rugged, um, John Wayne, Chuck Norris type character, but in the surf world, in the unconquerable portion of the surf world, which is the North Shore of Hawaii, just doing it. And then for the last 15 years, haven't heard a thing.
He's like the Yang to Laird Hamilton's Yang. I feel they're both the same dude. They're not yin yang because they're the same dude, but just Laird has a public facing part and Ken doesn't. And I feel that even Laird's public facing part is no like I really turned a corner on Laird. Laird was fun to make fun of, I think, for a minute. But and he was fun to make fun of because he's undeniably great at what he was doing. And so then it's easy. It's easier to make fun of the Kelly Slaters and stuff, right? I don't like to punch down. I don't like to make fun of para Olympic surfers and things like that. Like you make the greats are easy because who cares what I say about them, right? Uh, Laird understanding the joke, he messaged you at some point too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, he messaged Derek at some point and just like in on the joke, right? Gets that
Yeah.
it's funny. And I'm like, stinking Laird Hamilton, could you be any cooler at this point? Like where I can make fun of you, BeachGrit can make fun of you, whatever, and you don't take it personally. That's all I want
Yeah.
anyway, and that you get it. But I feel that so Laird, great, cool, demigod. Ken too. Just Ken went quiet. Ken said, "I'm out of here. I'm disappearing."